I'm going to show you today how I set Starlink free. For remote workers and those who are traveling a lot, Starlink has become an absolute essential. The setup isn't always the easiest, and it's also not all that mobile. What we are going to do is get rid of the stand, get rid of the leg, and turn this into a portable traveling satellite. We're going to keep the same router. We're going to keep the same dish. And what we have done is made a box for it. Have my cable. Don't know if I want to cut off some of that or not. What's interesting about this cable is it is not a special USB. It is a Ethernet cable that is 4 twisted pair where that is grounded. Here is our satellite, a little dirty, and I cut the back out. I removed the motor, a lot less weight, and I also added a coupler. That way I can disconnect this if I want. I can add a new cable onto it, shorter. I can add a different modem onto it if I want. What's interesting about this, like I said, I'm gonna do that. I put some heavy duty 2.5-inch magnets, and this will make it where it can be portable on any vehicle that is steel. See how that fits flush. What we are doing is making this Starlink Gen 2 truly mobile and truly portable. I can easily take it from vehicle to vehicle in seconds. Like that. I began to work up a plan where I could make a box that would hold the satellite after I removed the insides. And if you see the 3 dots, okay, if you would draw a line all together from those, that is not where you should cut. This is where you should cut. So think about this line and bring it in about 1/3 of an inch or 3/8. And if you can cut on the red line and just cut very lightly, you will be very good. If you cut on the blue line, you might hit a couple wires like I did. And now it's time for testing. We're going to take this out onto our vehicle and see what we can do with it on this 15-degree day. I put a couple marks on the paint on the front and the back to see if it moves at all while I'm driving. Our test here is going to examine several different things. 1, does it actually work? 2, do the magnets hold it onto the vehicle? And are there anything that we need to be concerned about? The wind is making it so you can't hear what I say, but after 5 miles, we look at the marks to see if it's moved at all. Marks at all. Okay, so that's good. We've been driving 55 to 60. We're going to be driving 70 now soon. When we first started our trip test, Starlink was fired up, but it was having problems. It was a little concerning because I wanted it to work immediately. We don't use Starlink daily, and what I found out was it needed some updates. And while driving, it did its updates, and it did them rather quickly. Our ping rates were pretty low. Here you can see these. But after the updates were finished, it got much better. And once the system completed its full updating and optimizing, our speeds were ranging from 50 initially and then 100 to 200 megabit, which we find to be a huge success. We are driving on US 30, just got passed by the Van Wert County coroner. We are driving about 65, a little more. I could try it at 70, but check it again. Has it moved? Doesn't look like it. driving around all morning. We have, let's check what the power says. 80%. We're down to 79%. And this is saying we're using about, I don't know if the wire's in the way or not, 37 watts, 38, 39, 40, around in there. We could probably force the snow melt off, and that would probably save quite a bit. But I think this is going to be completely doable for about any trip we want. And who knows, maybe we'll convert it to DC. But there it is, runs up on top. I think that was a complete success. Almost better than I expected. And let's see. Oh, the app hasn't refreshed. Oh well. Okay. So it's close to about a 99%. Everything's been looking good. This says it's using about 30 watts. So this report's different than what the power station is reporting. So I will see if we can turn off the snow melt. Let's see if that made any difference. I don't know if that's an immediate difference or not. Okay, and this is averaging over 15 minutes. So let's check the box. Oh, look at that. It did. Oh, well, it went, I was just saying, it's down to 32.29. It did drop it. We'll see if that's long term. If that gives us 30% more power, I'd be cool with that. I think it will. This here is how easy it is to take off and stick on. It's just held on by magnets. Obviously, they're pretty strong magnets, but it works.